A warm welcome back to the Forensics Unplugged channel, guys. I hope you're doing well. Bit of kind of wax therapy, if you like, today. We're just going to enjoy the process on our Unplugged channel of applying some Pete's 53 Black Pearl. That's what I call the E36. The Black Pearl wax. Now, this is an out-and-out show wax blended with, I think, coconut oil, montan oil, propolis, maybe banana oil. It has an amazing smell to it. Well, mainly like this almond oil. It must have almond oil in it. Oh, it's just a phenomenal smell. And that does make, like, you know, I'm not into all those smells or all that, but it just really makes this wax. It adds a layer of desirability to it. The pour was not the best on this. It was a bit all over the place, but you can see by just running your finger around that edge, all that cracked kind of wax, I can tidy it up there so that it kind of forms a better lid, if you like. And the more you use it, the more this wax will level down. It's an incredibly oily wax. I'm just going to give my... Well, this wax applicator here is really dusty, actually. That's unusual. Well, this thing's got a lot of probably dry wax. I'm just going to bash this off outside, if you pardon the pun. Hold on. I can see in the sun. God, blimey. It's really dried out, that is. Oh, I might change. Clean that properly. It's got so much wax in it. Oh, I don't like that. It's a bad start, that is, to me, because like when you start taking shortcuts and you encounter problems like that, that's when things can go wrong. There's a lot of dried wax in there, so I didn't do a good job cleaning that. Should be okay now, though. Don't know, actually. Let me just hold on a second. Hold on. Just going to put a little spritz. Just a little spritz of water will calm that down a bit. Yeah. Okay. So we go into our wax pot and we get a good amount of this wax. I'm going to get a good amount of it on there. Yeah, I want to. Actually, I think this was the wax I was using. So I want to use this wax. I'm going to keep plastering it on my car. Okay. So we've got a good amount on there. And we know this, I've turbo polished this just to improve it because it was bugging me, but I'd need to turbo polish the whole lot. But the bonnet and the wings were terrible. So I've just turbo polished it. If I got all the light on it, if I get all the light on it, I'll see everything. And I'll be like, oh, it's bad. So it's just nice sometimes to just accept the paint for what it is, which is fine. If you don't have the lights on, it looks great. This wax just spreads so easily. Like you can get it over your paintwork really easily. And the cool thing about the Pete's 53 is, the rest of the car's waxed, by the way. So I'm just doing this front end. The cool thing about this Pete's 53, there's no waiting around for it. It's a show wax, so it goes on. You get the wax on and you buff it straight off, which makes it really nice to use. Just even buff those headlights, get a bit of shine in there, get a bit of protection. It's so nice. There's something about this wax on, wax off thing that's just really enjoyable. Just a quick way of putting that deep carnauba shine, and we'll give this a flip just so we've got an unsaturated side. And these cloths do a good job of just picking up everything. Now these Zano boardless, but you can get, you know, the equivalent cloths. You know, a Korean open pole cloth would do it. These are cotton though. These are cotton cherries, I believe. Cotton split pile, sorry, which is a unique thing. They feel like microfiber to me. Yeah. So this is the really cool bit. Yeah, this pot's starting to level out a little bit. I'm going to get through it. I don't think, you know, you often hear you go sparing with the wax, but with this nice oily show wax, get it on there. I'll tell you another thing, guys. This Pete's 53 is supposed to be discontinued, which is, if that's true, that's a real shame, because it's a lovely product. It's like a lovely product. Why would you get rid of it? Like, you can make it in small, like, batches or whatever. Don't get rid of it. It's a great product. It's an iconic product. Oh, ow. Need to move this car back a bit. That wasn't too clever. Yeah, it's an iconic, absolute iconic paste wax that you can just get onto your car, especially with these. This is the Adams applicator. Prestige Car Care sell the Adams stuff. If anyone's interested in this applicator, which is really good, actually. This is good size, good medium kind of size. You can see how easy it is to get this wax over your paint. Like, you can just get it over there. And what I like about this wax on, wax off business, I've got to pull this car back. This is doing my head in. That really is doing my head in. Let's get a bit more room. Look, there's the black peril inside. She's doing good. Let's pull it back. Probably. Oh yes, see, it's been sitting there for a while. Damn it. Not going to have the strength. Okay, we'll work with it. Keep it where it is. Yeah, the thing I like, it's just the ease, the speed. You can wax your car. Like, you can go around and do this, get it all waxed up, and you could probably do this in 5 or 10 minutes with the old 2 or 3 tunes on the Stezza. You get this done with this big, fluffy, moppy buffing cloth. Make sure you always get that edge and work that edge. Let's just go on wide zoom. Get it all. And then get this bit here. And I mean, the durability on this Pete's 53 is low. You know, don't apply this product. It's slightly better than R222, but you know, these are kind of very low durability. This has a bit more. This will give you like a month or something like that. But basically, this is like a product you want to use in a nice environment where it's a bit warmer and you can just sit there waxing the living Jesus out of your car. Oh, be Jesus. Whack. Oh, I've got my cup of tea there. It's very important. You can sit there waxing the living bejesus out of it. Well, I said I'd smooth the edges down, but because it's not fully poured, it's moving again and they're cracking. That will eventually settle down. But let's go back over here and do another pickup. And we'll get this wing. And we'll get this nice. We'll get this here. And we'll get a nice amount of wax in there. Look, it's moving around in there. That's all down to that little shrinkage, I think. If we can get all the bits out, it's going to make our lives a bit easier. There we go. Yeah. Just work that in. It's getting better. I keep saying that, and then I've got to get all the bits around the edge. Just have a thing against all those bits. We'll get them onto the car. Here we go. Yeah, it's such a nice wax to work with, though. I love the concept of this kind of oily wax, even though it's completely against, you know, anyone that's interested in performance. This goes against. It's not the product for you. This is not about performance. This is just about enjoying this process of, you know, working on your car. What else are you going to do in your free time when you're at home? We go watch a movie, maybe. You get to my age, you've seen them all before. You've seen them all before. You can predict what's going to happen. You know, when you start to know the directors' names and who wrote it and all that, you get a feel for how the movie's going to be. I like the odd cheesy series, you know. I like watching a cheesy series, but then I've seen them all before. They set up quite well, and then once they've played their hand, they can get a bit predictable. So the series it's not really much good on at the moment. You know, that I'm really enjoying, so I need to find a good series. So I would rather just spend a bit of time with this lovely red peril, which I haven't had much time to spend, and get to know the car a bit. And this is enough for me. I like the fact that if I got the spotlight on this, this is not going to be like perfect paint, but does it really matter? It's shiny, it's glossy. Does it really matter if it's got bits in it? Perhaps not for a track car. Really having like an epiphany as of late. A sort of epiphany or a change of direction with my whole attitude towards cars, really. And I'm just sort of... this might be a slight whingy attitude. Tell me if it is or if it isn't. But I'm starting to get the feeling that like maintaining a really high standard with your car, where you really look after it, you're really careful. I'm starting to think that it's a bit pointless in the sense of the rest of the world does not row to that tune. Is that the right saying? The rest of the world does not sing to that hymn, or basically the rest of the world doesn't work that way. We've talked about it before on the channel that, you know, if the car goes outside of your hands, I hope I haven't got something stuck in my teeth. Probably have, I can feel it. Sorry. If the car goes outside of your hands, just the chances of it getting damaged are so high. They're so high, and I'm not making that up, and it's not like a irrational fear. It's just, that's where the conclusion that I've come to is that just the chance of getting damage on the car from it being mishandled is huge. And if it's not from mishandling, it will be from someone smashing into it. And it will usually be a door dink, won't it? Someone smashing their door into it because you've parked somewhere. Or someone crashing into you, which has happened to me on the E36. Someone just crashed into me. It's unfortunate. It's not the end of the world, but, you know, I've been like meticulous with the car. Like, well, I haven't been meticulous. I've just been careful with it. And I've really enjoyed like looking after it and just keeping it nice. And then the car's got to go outside of your garage where you look after it. It's got to get prepped by a body shop, so they like to TFR them to strip off anything that's on them. And if you ask for it to not be TFR, they're going to look at you strange. Yeah, I'm worried about, even though this body shop are the place that did all the paintwork, they're brilliant. This is just what goes through my head. I'm worried that when they're going to buff the car after they've repaired the paint on the bumper, they'll buff over the rear quarters. They'll go from the bit that's been painted and they'll buff over that, and it'll all be machine marred because it'll be a rotary with dirty spent polish on it, you know, fast cut, you know, and it's all freshly polished. All the polishing oils hide all of that, but when you get back and you wash the car down, then you discover all the machine marring. I'm worried that that's going to be like that, and maybe it won't. You know, won't worry about it when it happens. But that's what goes through my head, and it's not a paranoia. It's just what happens in life, that when something that's perfect and you go to extreme lengths to maintain goes out of your control into that big wide world out there, whether it's a pothole, whether it's a car park, whether it's having mechanical work done, whether it's having tyres changed, whatever it is, it tends to get damaged. And I think in some ways the only solution for a petrol head that's got that bit of like perhaps that slightly obsessive thing where we're really passionate about maintaining it, perhaps the only solution for that is to really go with a car that is just so far from perfect you don't care. And I remember going through that when I bought the Blue Peril, the 330 Ci. It's one of the most fun cars I ever had because I paid like $2,000 for it. I loved it. It was so falling to bits with the paintwork. I just used to tear around in it and just loved the car. I wasn't even fussy about cleaning it, but if I wanted to go for a drive, I'd grab the keys, I'd turn the traction control off, I'd bury my foot on the throttle, drop the clutch and let it try and spin the wheels, just do stupid things with it. You know, just drive it like a maniac. Well, you know, on private roads, whatever. You know, I'd drive it like a maniac and I wouldn't care. And like the bonnet flew up, smashed the windscreen. I got it repaired, didn't care. if anything happens to the other car where you've gone to the effort of really restoring it, it's heartbreaking. So yeah, my massive change of thought process is that too much of a stress to put on yourself? If you've got that mindset where everything's got to be like really good because you've got it there, is keeping it there too much of a stress that's not a good stress to have in your life? You know, if you enjoy this meticulous thing of just keeping this car mint, then maybe it's not. But for me, it's bordering on paranoia, and you feel like a bit of an idiot. Like whenever you take it anywhere, I had the paranoia with these alloy wheels. My normal tyre fitter, who's brilliant, he's the only bloke I trust. I had the same paranoia, so I had to take it somewhere different, and they probably just think I'm a weirdo. But the amount of time to split this down and drill out the stuck bolts in it, and like put it all back together, get it all painted, the cost, and then you go and have the tyre fitted, and it can just get absolutely smashed to bits. And a lot of tyre places, like I said, they'll just tell you that it's, sorry, changing tyres is an intrusive process. It's not, it's just they haven't been trained. So 99% of the time, they'll just scuff the backside of the alloy with the seal breaker plate, because no one's told them not to do that, or use the cover plate. They've just never been trained properly. Yeah, or the machine, the gripper machine. The other classic one is the gripper machine. They'll let it bite on the inside of the alloy, the barrel, and stamp those little dots in there rather than let it grip on the outside where it's supposed to grip. Again, it's just training. It's nothing to do with the process. And if you're really into your cars, you start figuring all this stuff out by the time you get to my age. And yeah, so this car could be the solution, and maybe the solution is just to have one car in your garage that's so imperfect. I'm spotting another dent in the panel. So imperfect, you don't really care. You take it for what it is. You love it from 5 meters back rather than trying to love it from, you know, your eyeballs being an inch away from the paint with a torch on it and a magnifying glass. You know, you love it, warts and all. You love it with a cracked windscreen there. You love it when I'm going to drill out all the spot welds and cut this glass out and rip the roof off and put the carbon fibre roof off. If I scratch the paint, you scratch the paint. Isn't that more fun than that kind of obsessive car that you just means so much, you just don't want to get it damaged? And it just becomes a pressure or a stress on you when the car gets damaged and it goes out of your hands. And the worst thing for me is, like, you know how it's going to happen before it happens. That's the worst thing. And like I say, it all boils down to the world does not dance to your hymn. So just because you're obsessive about your car and, like, you know, pedantic, even my E36, when I take it to have any work done, I take the wheel caps off the BBSs, yeah, those plastic caps, and I put a microfiber over it and then use that large spanner. Because if you just put the large spanner over the top and wrench on it, you'll damage the plastic finish because it's been painted. So I know to put a microfiber cloth over it. No one else is going to do that. So if I ever took my E36 anywhere, that will get damaged. And you can't go through every single bit of the car that's fragile like that and explain it to the garage or whatever. Don't do that, don't do that, don't touch that. Because they're just going to look at you like you're an idiot. Well, maybe they'd be right. Maybe they're right. Maybe this whole detailing malarkey and caring about our cars to this level, maybe it's just an unrealistic, false sense of perfection that doesn't tie in with the rest of humanity. I'd be interested in your thoughts on all of that. Some of you must have gone through this pain barrier. It won't be, with respect, it won't be the young guys so much, because you'll still be in the honeymoon period of having a mint car. Like, there's a great feeling when you get your first car and it's quite new and it's all in great condition and you really want to keep it that way. Well, maybe, yeah. So maybe there's the younger viewers can relate from that sense. But older people that have gone and had a lot of cars may have gone through this same dilemma and just thought, you know what, yeah, don't buy or don't try and restore a car up to concourse mint level, because the rest of humanity is going to drag it back down to the red peril level. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, because the rest of humanity will also be happier, I think, because they won't have that stress or that mindset of perfectionism. So, yeah. Anyway, it's definitely a first world problem, isn't it? To keep it quite simple, I enjoy owning just a very tatty car that I can mess around on. Yeah. So it raises the dilemma, should I sell the E36 now and just get rid of that stress? That might be another video that I'll do on the main channel. Should I sell the E36? I love that car and I really don't want to sell it, and I don't think I'd ever get my money back, but it's almost like a mental thing that it will release a stressor in my life, and I think that could be quite a good thing. And the tax has gone up, like it's like now 350 quid. The insurance premium goes up every year, so God knows. The mechanical side of maintaining that old car, God knows. The fuel on it and everything, it's probably at least, to run that car is probably at least 1,500 quid a year, which is almost a cheap family holiday, isn't it? Very cheap. Buttons. You get the idea. Anyway, this was supposed to be a bit of relaxation for me, not thinking about things like that. But that's been on my mind, actually, so it's sometimes good in these videos to dump my brain and let you know what's going on. Yeah, but this is looking amazing, actually, now. It's got that, I call it like the plasticized look, like a leather sofa. If you sprayed it in plastic, you'd get a shine on it. I'm getting that real nice shine on this car now. Yeah, paintwork feels good as well. It is oily and it probably does attract a bit of dust, but who cares? It's good fun. So yeah, love a bit of waxing. That's Pete's 53. Get it while you still can. It is discontinued, I'm told. I don't think distributors will be able to get it anymore. So I think it's around while stocks last. It may have already gone out of stock in the UK by the time we do this video, because it's in the Hall of Fame series. There's not going to be millions of pots. People say to me in the comments, John, you've talked about this product and it's gone out of stock immediately. You're so influential. Not really. It's the stock levels. Product, like a product, there might be 20 or 30 bottles on the shelf of a distributor or something like that. Maybe not even that. So they go out of stock quickly because there isn't 300 or 400 bottles, which is how many people might want it if you do a video. And that's just the nature of social media. So yeah, it's nothing to do with me. It's more to do with just stock levels. And if a brand did suddenly, if a distributor did suddenly just randomly go and say, well, we'll stock 400 units of this particular product, they might sit there for the next 5 or 6 years. Social media definitely drives sales, it really does, but not to the sort of level that you think. It's more just because this whole detailing thing that we talk about is actually quite niche. It's very niche. Yeah. So there we go. Thanks for watching.